They were silent, precise, and feared by all. They became known as the Dai Li. They were the silent guardians of the Earth Kingdom's greatest city. Precise, formidable, and utterly loyal. Or were they? They were founded by an avatar to preserve culture, yet became the very force that suppressed it. They were the hand of the Earth King, then the pawn of a tyrant, and finally, the enforcers for the Fire Nation itself. Who were the Dai Li? And how did the protectors of Ba Sing Se become its greatest terror? Welcome back to Your Channel Name. Today, we're diving deep into the shadowy history of one of the most feared organizations in the Avatar universe, the Dai Li, the elite secret police of Ba Sing Se. Their story begins with the mighty Avatar Kyoshi. Yes, the same Kyoshi known for her unwavering justice and the creation of the Kyoshi warriors. Sometime between 270 and 82 BG, in response to a peasant uprising against the corrupt government of the 46th Earth King, Kyoshi established the Dai Li. Her goal? To preserve the cultural heritage of Ba Sing Se. Kyoshi personally trained the initial agents, giving them rigorous, almost elitist training. She even incorporated techniques she learned from Jianzhu and Yan, like tactical missions and using earth gloves. They were designed to be an incredibly effective secret police force. However, even Kyoshi herself would come to regret her creation, telling Aang centuries later that she had no idea just how corrupt they would become. Kyoshi's fears were well-founded. After her passing, the Dai Li's loyalty began to shift. During the reign of Earth King Jialun, a surprisingly calculating man who hid his cunning behind a facade of incompetence, the Dai Li became a tool of the crown's corruption. When the Earth Sages, who had tried to redeem themselves after Kyoshi's youth, spoke out against the king's attempts to change the constitution, Jialun ordered the Dai Li to round them up in a brutal purge known as the Night of Silenced Sages. The Order of the Sages was abolished, replaced by royal learning halls tightly controlled by the crown, demonstrating the Dai Li's new role in suppressing dissent. But the Dai Li's descent into darkness wasn't complete until the later stages of the 100-Year War. An ambitious agent named Long Feng masterminded a takeover, seizing control of the Dai Li and effectively becoming the de facto dictator of Ba Sing Se. Under Long Feng, the Dai Li enforced a strict police state. Their most infamous task was maintaining the city's denial of the war with the Fire Nation. Anyone who dared speak of the war, particularly refugees, was closely watched. If caught, they were taken to Lake Laogai and subjected to brutal brainwashing, forcing them to accept that there is no war within the walls of Ba Sing Se. Agents were selectively picked at a young age and controlled by Long Feng, though some served him more out of self-interest than loyalty. When Team Avatar arrived, hoping to warn the Earth King about the war, they immediately ran afoul of the Dai Li. The seemingly cheerful Ju Di, their designated guide, was a Dai Li agent tasked with delaying and misdirecting them. When the gang tried to bypass her and reach the king, the Dai Li arrested them, revealing their sinister control. They even blackmailed Aang and his friends using Appa, who was missing at the time. It wasn't until Jet, initially brainwashed by the Dai Li, helped them that they finally confronted the agents at Lake Laogai, a battle that tragically cost Jet his life. After reuniting with Appa, Team Avatar finally exposed Long Feng's conspiracy to Earth King Kui. Long Feng was arrested, and the Dai Li were forced to serve the king, though their true loyalty remained with Long Feng. This fractured loyalty proved crucial when Princess Azula infiltrated Ba Sing Se. Azula formed a temporary alliance with the imprisoned Long Feng and took command of the Dai Li. Ruthlessly manipulative, she quickly shifted the agent's loyalty from Long Feng to herself, being the more effective leader. When the coup of Ba Sing Se began, the Dai Li swiftly moved against the Earth Kingdom leadership, arresting the Council of Five and the Earth King himself. Long Thing attempted to betray Azula, but the Dai Li, now loyal to the Fire Princess, betrayed him instead, cementing their allegiance to the Fire Nation. It was the Dai Li's intervention in the Crystal Catacombs that ultimately allowed Azula to strike down Aang. Following the coup, the Dai Li literally opened the gates for the Fire Nation invasion by destroying a section of the outer wall. Azula rewarded their loyalty, promoting Zhu Di to supreme bureaucratic administrator, solidifying their power in the conquered city. Even after returning to the Fire Nation, Azula kept command of the Dai Li, using them to protect her during the Day of Black Sun. However, Azula's increasing paranoia and descent into madness led her to abruptly banish the Dai Li for a minor perceived delay, no longer trusting anyone after Mai and Tai Li's betrayal. Elements of the Dai Li remained loyal to Azula after the war, becoming a rogue faction. Some were hired for an assassination plot at the Royal Fire Academy, only to be defeated and arrested by Zuko, Mai, and Tai Li. Decades later, in the era of Avatar Korra, the Dai Li were back in Ba Sing Se, serving under the Earth Queen Hao Ting. They resumed their role as secret police, this time focused on capturing the new Airbenders emerging after the harmonic convergence, intending to force them into the Queen's army. They trained the captured Airbenders harshly underground. Team Avatar eventually discovered this and helped the Airbenders escape, leading to a confrontation where the Airbenders finally used their abilities to repel the Dai Li. Despite this setback, the Dai Li continued to serve the Queen until the Red Lotus attack on the palace. They attempted to defend the Queen, but were easily defeated by the Red Lotus, leaving Hao Ting vulnerable to Zahir. So what made the Dai Li so effective and terrifying? They were masters of earthbending, surpassing even the palace guards. Their distinctive rock gloves and shoes allowed them to bend on the move, slide across surfaces, and even cling to walls and ceilings. They used hidden surveyor's chains to ensnare and restrain opponents, especially other benders. And of course, their chilling brainwashing techniques at Lake Laogai were a powerful tool of control. Interestingly, the Dai Li's look was inspired by real-world figures, the government agents or mandarins of the Qing Dynasty China. Their name itself, Dai Li, is a direct reference to Lieutenant General Dai Li, the feared leader of Chiang Kai-shek's secret police in 20th century China. His legacy of oppression directly influenced the creators. They also share similarities with other historical secret police forces, like Rome's Praetorian Guard and the Ming Dynasty's Jinyue. From their founding by an avatar to their manipulation by tyrants and their eventual defeat, the story of the Dai Li is a dark thread running through the history of the Earth Kingdom. They represent how an organization created with good intentions can be twisted and corrupted, becoming a symbol of oppression and fear. What do you think is the most chilling aspect of the Dai Li? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Avatar lore.